Welcome back, friends and fellow movie lovers, to our movie car recreations series and episode 2 of what is going to be the Bumble Bee car build. Now, before we get started on this episode, I want to give a big shout out to Blue Comet 700 from Steam, who made the texture pack for the Dukes of Hazzard, which you see around the top of the garage. And being a big Dukes of Hazzard fan and scrolling through the texture mods on Steam, I was very pleased to see this texture pack pop up, as now you can see the General Lee with the original cast of the Dukes of Hazzard. I believe Mr. Blue Comet 700 did a very good job of it, and he has put photos up all over the garage for Car Mechanic. That being said, let's get to work. I apologize for the lengthy absence between episodes. I have been spending a lot of time in the junkyard trying to find the panels we needed for our Camaro, and was just unable to find them. I finally ended up going to the car auctions, and I found this. It is just a Camaro LT, or it might be an LS. It's the LS version, but we can use this Camaro's hood, which is already painted the proper color. We can come over here and there's a lot of parts on this car that we can take off. Like, we need the rear bumper. That's the same between the LS, the LT, and the SS. The left door is the same color, so we'll take that. And we needed fenders as well for our Camaro. So we'll grab these front fenders. Seats were also something that we were going to need. And being this was bought at the good auction, all this stuff is going to be repairable. So what we are going to do now is we are going to strip this Camaro down to the parts we are not going to use. Oh yes, and we needed the left tail light as well. So we will take that. And then we are going to come repair the parts from the auction Camaro, which are going to be all these green ones. So we will just start. And you might say, well, up in the corner it shows the part as being gray. And yes, you are correct. It does show the part as being a gray part. But that's because the Bumblebee colors is a livery. So, in this game, when you're painting a car and you put a livery on it, oh, no, we'll put that hood back on it. No, because that's a ZL1 hood. We'll put the SS hood on, step back a little. We gotta put that one back on it. Because the LT front bumper is not the same, or the LS front bumper is not the same as the SS front bumper. So now, what we are doing is we are taking the panels from the car purchased and installing them, except for these back two fenders, which had to be sourced separately. Well, no, we're good here. I'm sorry. It was a rough week for me at work, but I did want to get content out for you guys. And I really wanted to get back into the movie car recreations, simply because it had been so long since we had done an episode of this. So now we have our Bumblebee almost fully bodied up. Why is that not showing? Ah, that's an interesting glitch. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to move this to the spray booth because I did not wash the auction car. And then we'll just go ahead and actually we'll hold off on the interior detail. And we'll move Bumblebee to the paint shop. And we're going to go to liveries. and we are going to paint. So now, oh, look at that. It even put a little Autobot decal on the fender. That's a nice little touch. And we're going to have to get this up in the air and get that out of there. The game, for some reason, does not like having the car just sit there. Okay, so now we got some interior stuff to fix. We want to fix this bench. As you can see from all the stuff that needs to be fixed, as I said, I've spent a lot of time trolling the junkyard. But what I'm not seeing is the steering wheel. So the steering wheel must not be repairable, at least not as I have the settings right now. We're going to lower Bumble Bee back down. And we're going to get the interior put into Bumble Bee. Just make sure we got the window in there. We do. And now, let's just check our inventory real quick. Overhead valve CGM. This is the motor that's supposed to be in Bumble Bee. So let's go ahead and remove engine from stand. And that was a V8 supercharged. Which I believe was an option for this car. It is indeed. And that's gonna be the easier engine to build, so that's the one that Bumble Bee will be getting. Though first and foremost, we have to disassemble. Now, I will not be putting this back in the car stock. It will be going back in with performance parts. And we're going to need to buy a crank for the car, possibly. Let's swivel our camera around and up. We already knew the pistons and connecting rods would need to be changed, because they are what's considered a consumable part in this game and cannot be repaired. Okay. Let's go back to our repair bench here, see if we have a V8 block and crankshaft. Well, isn't that a bummer? We have a couple V8 blocks, but we don't have the one we need. And as far as crankshafts go, we do not have the crankshaft we need. But to save ourselves some trouble, because most of that stuff we're not repairing, we're just going to come in here. We're going to need an AGM battery. We're going to need a performance alternator. We're going to need 4 of these V8 camshafts. We're going to need 2 of these V8 engine heads. going to need 2 of these exhaust manifolds. Fuel filter. Fuel pump. Two fuel rail DIs. Eight ignition coils. Distributor cap. Ignition distributor A. Oh no, we didn't need those 2 parts. I'm sorry. This has got coils, not a distributor. We don't need any wires. We're going to need 5 of these lightweight idler roller A's and 2 of the lightweight idler roller B's. 8 pistons. We're going to need the V8 power steering pump. 8 spark plugs. Then we want the supercharger intake manifold. And the supercharger V8. You want the V8 throttle. And that's all we'll be buying from the performance section. Then here we're going to type in piston or PIS to get to the piston rings we're going to need. And we are going to buy those. Now, unfortunately, I have to take even more time and search the junkyards for the rest of the parts we're going to need for the build. Not what I wanted. So we need to see what steering wheel we needed. and it's saying steering wheel M3. So we'll come into interiors. We'll type in M3 in the search bar. And we'll buy this one because it is not BMW branded. So then we can come in here and we can install the steering wheel. And you will see that we are frame and interior 100%, whereas it says the body is only 89%. That may be because of the license plates, which I have to look up and see what goes on Bumble Bee. And there is still the little matter of the engine cover for Bumble Bee, which I am still fighting to find, which would be engine cover E. But with that, in episode 2 of our Bumblebee build, we have made some progress. We have purchased all the performance parts that we need for the build. And I am going to leave this episode here. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button, leave a comment, feel free to share this video. And if you are not yet subscribed, please consider doing so, as it helps my small channel. And it costs you nothing but a second of your time to hit that subscribe button. I thank you all very much for watching, and I wish you all a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are, whenever you may be watching this. Thank you.